It says I'm live. Oh my goodness. I need to wait for like 15 seconds, right? And then the timer's going to go back. It has been 6 weeks since I have done this, maybe longer. I don't actually know. My friends, oh, my friends, it is so good to see you. I am so excited to be here. We have so much to discuss. I cannot wait to dive into conversation with y'all, everybody who decides, there we go. Okay, so I have figured it out. I don't know what exactly I was saying when y'all started actually seeing things happen live. But every time I'm on YouTube, it gets to 30 seconds and then the screen flickers and then it starts over, gets back down to 2 seconds. And so I'm presuming that now I am live and y'all can hear me, see me, understand me. Please confirm that this is the case. Welcome back to Wellness Wednesday, whatever you want to call it. Maybe we need a less wellness oriented title for Wednesday. It's like Hangout Wednesday, but what W word do we have that goes with that? What's going on Wednesday? I don't know. I'm just excited to be back with y'all after quite a hiatus. Thank you so much, first and foremost, for allowing me to take my hiatus. Tonight, I would like to discuss kind of what's been happening, what I've been doing, what the plan is going forward. And like I said, I would love to hear from all of you guys. What is new and exciting? And let's take a look and see who's here. We've got Andy, of course. Andy, I am so glad that you are with us. Thank you for your patience. Andy comes over to my channel to hang out on live streams that I haven't been around. And so the only time I get to communicate with him really is on here. And so thank you for your patience as I've been on hiatus. Andy, I appreciate it. Michelle, hello. And Lissa's here. Jersey, hello, hello. Good to see you. I cannot wait to just discuss with y'all this evening. So first, before we go ahead and dive into whatever it is, wherever it is, the evening decides to take us in conversation. It started about 40 seconds into it. Okay, yeah. So that's about right then. That's about right. So I just got to sit here and twiddle my thumbs while that timer goes 30 seconds and then start talking because everything that I say before then is lost anyway, which I guess is great. But I also am like, there's going to be that one time where it records everything. And so the first 30 seconds of the replay is literally me just being like, do, 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 do. Whatever. It's fine. It's fine. So my friends, let's share. I almost said our wellness wins. That's part of it. I got to get out of healthy meeting mode and got to get back into live stream mode. Oh my goodness. Let's share our highs and lows. That's what we do. Highs and lows. So share with me. And you guys have a lot of ground to cover because I haven't done a live stream since May and it is mid-June. So what is your high for the last 6 or so weeks? What is your low for the last 6 or so weeks? And oh my gosh, I just realized that like I was just planning on like having one that I shared from today, and I'm like 6 or so weeks. There's a lot that has happened since then. Oh my goodness. And then share your wellness win, and if you have something in particular that you are working on, I would love to hear about that as well. Push the button. Push what button? What button do I need to push? I don't know. Little royalty-free music. Oh, there's an idea. I have an entire Apple Music. Now I'm curious. We're going to do an experiment because this is what we do. My live streams are completely unhinged to begin with. So here's what we're going to do. This is a royalty-free music thing. I'm about to play a song and turn up the speakers. Tell me if you can hear it. Not me just wanting to bop along to that song for the duration of the song. Awesome. Okay, that's cool. That makes me feel really, really good because it'll give me the option without the StreamYard countdown timer. It'll let me like do my own thing. So because I have all of this royalty-free music that I use for my YouTube videos, I can just play it and everything will be hunky-dory. Great idea. Thank you for that. Linda, hello. Good to see you. Highs and lows, my friends. Lay them on me. Where do I start with highs? My high is absolutely 100% our Hawaii trip. We had a great time. Our low was that it rained for quite a bit of the trip. Like they were in an unseasonably, it was supposed to be dry. My dear husband did so much research and as to when we were supposed to go, and he picked the time that was just after the wet season, but just before hurricane season. And he's like, that like there's a reason we went in the middle of May, right? Or in the end of May, I guess it really was very close to the end of May. And they happened to have a Kona low, is what it's called. And that just means unseasonably ridiculous amounts of rain. And we got to Honolulu at the tail end of that. So it rained pretty steadily for like the first 2 days of our trip. And then what I learned about Hawaii was that there's always rain. In the mountains, in the volcanoes, there's always rain clouds. And apparently, like before GPS and whatever existed, you could always find where the mountains were if you just followed the clouds. Like look up, find the clouds, there's the mountain. So you just know what way to go, right? So we saw rain every single day, but it wasn't all day every single day. But nonetheless, it was a lovely trip. Hawaii is beautiful. Honolulu specifically was under a lot more Japanese influence than I realized. So much so that my husband and I are walking around downtown Honolulu in Waikiki Beach area. And I'm like, are we in Hawaii or are we in Japan? Because remember, I lived in Japan for 10 weeks too. And there were so many Japanese things there that I was like, man, there's like it was awesome because we loved living in Japan and we loved the food and there was ramen shops and all these things that were very Japanese inspired. So it was very, very cool to take in all of the culture. We did a lot of learning about the Polynesian cultures, and Hawaii is just beautiful. The highlight, for sure, our highlight was on the island of Kauai. We did a helicopter ride, and wow, was that like a once in a lifetime, absolutely stunningly beautiful thing. Um, and I didn't get to talk to my grandfather too much about it, but we've spoken briefly several times since I've been home. And he asked about, Hawaii, and I told him we spent one night at the Royal Hawaiian, which is like the luxury hotel on Oahu. And he's like, "Oh, well, yeah, that's where we," or my dad told me that's where when he and my grandfather and everybody traveled when my dad was younger, they stayed at the Royal Hawaiian Hotel. And then my grandpa's asking me, "Oh, did you go to the place where they do the Hawaiian blessing?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, we did that. We got married again because that's what you do when you get the Hawaiian blessing sung to you in the Fern Grotto as you're married." So we got married again. And it was just very, very, yes, Andy, we loved the poi dancers. We freaking loved the poi dancers. I give them mad respect. Like it was so stinking cool. So yes, the poi dancer is absolutely one of the highlights. We loved it. When we were learning about the different Polynesian cultures, my husband and I both decided we have an affinity for the New Zealand Polynesian culture, whose tribal name I can't remember at the moment. But if you've watched, do any of you watch Next Level Chef? On the most recent season of Next Level Chef, there was a gentleman, a very large gentleman, like kind of looked like Maui from Moana level of large gentleman. He's a beast of a human named Mata. And he did this tribal chant. I want to say it's called a hoka. No, it's not a hoka. Oh my gosh, what is it called? What is it called? Oh my gosh. New Zealand. I want to make sure I'm just doing it. Tribal tribal chant. What is it called? The haka is what it's called. I want to make sure I'm giving it the respect it deserves. So I first heard about the haka watching that show, and then I saw several of them in action during different Polynesian presentations that we saw throughout the trip, and it was just so cool. It was just so cool learning and experiencing, and Hawaii is beautiful. Somewhere, can you see? I have two different leis over there. They're not flower leis. The flower leis did not make it back across the ocean because they're fresh flowers. I have discovered a love for the plumeria plant. I think that they are the most beautiful flowers. They are also called frangipani. I love them. I absolutely love them. And fun fact, my in-laws apparently have a plumeria plant that we've never acknowledged its existence before. And they have one. We've seen it a billion times and never acknowledged that it was the same flower as the flower that I am now loving from Hawaii. So you will have to excuse Miss Gracie. My husband is not home yet, and she thinks every sound is him. So it is what it is. You might hear Miss Gracie barking in the background. So that was my high. My low was the rain, and I think that's about it. Oh, here she goes. Can you? Oh, and she's growling too. Great, awesome. And I'm no one else is home to stop her at the moment. So apologies for that. Gracie, hey, come here. She doesn't listen to me when I tell her to stop barking. She thinks I mean bark louder. That's like anytime I say, Gracie, stop. She continues to bark as if to like yell at me. So there it is. My wellness win was actually, fun fact, doggy, hey, that's enough. And now she's locked out of the room. Congratulations to her. My wellness win was actually the level of intuitive eating that I did on the cruise was pretty incredible. And I enjoyed all of the things that I wanted. Sometimes I overate just a hair, but between all of the activity, I averaged almost 13,000 steps a day. 13,000 steps a day. Like, I was active, but I also ate mindfully most of the time. And the result was actually the scale went down when I got home. And I wasn't even surprised because lo and behold, when you listen to your body and you move your body, the scale goes in the direction that your body feels it needs to be. Right. So that was great. And my working on it is it's summertime and we're going to be jumping into some challenges, which we'll talk about in a little bit. Okay. Let's see what everybody else is talking about here. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Where is it? You guys have been good at typing. Jersey says, hi, I've read 10 books in the past 6 weeks. That's awesome. Low, I've been sick the past month. Oh no, I'm sorry to hear that you've been sick. What book, of all the ones you read, which book has been your favorite lately? I love a good TBR list, so anything that I can add to it. I actually read a really great book recently called The Women by Kristen Hanna, and it is historical fiction. And I'm not a history person, y'all. And this book had me completely enamored. I loved it. I could not put it down, even though it was historical fiction. It was so good. So that's one of the best things I've read lately. Do 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 do. Alyssa says, my current low is the high temperature. I'm miserable right now and work. Hardly getting any hours. I'm no longer getting lunch breaks and lost control over my eating at work. That's bad. Oh no. My high is I started volunteering in my church's nursery again, and I've been doing a lot more reading lately. Those are 2 wonderful highs. Wonderful. My win in working on it is that I'm going through a bit of a phase with switching up my desserts and focusing a bit more on nutrition there. Freeze-dried fruit, chocolate-covered nuts, Clio bars, etc. I love that, and I need to take inspiration from you and do the exact same thing. I found the most adorable teeny bowls that will be perfect for serving chocolate-covered nuts. They make little Corelle bowls look big. Oh, really? How cute. Because I love my little Corelle bowls, but even for some things, even the Corelle bowl is big. Like I have this little guy here that is currently housing a rock with a Bible verse on it. I think it's Matthew 6:25 for anybody that's curious. This little itty bitty bowl, but it's not like, I don't think it's a food safe bowl. It's an organizational bowl. So it stays up here. Michelle says my high is that it's summer, even though it's been in the mid 90s for a week. My cat translates, excuse me, to stay right there and try to trip me. Yep. The Maori dancers. Oh my goodness. You deserve good gelato. Oh my gosh. Even the name of that book made me go, ooh, I do deserve good gelato. Thank you very much. I'm hopping on Amazon and typing it in. Deserve Good Gelato by Casey Rose. Now I have it popped up. It's even a cute cover. Fantastic. Thank you for the suggestion. If you want to see the haka done. Google New Zealand rugby dance. Oh, I'm sure that's it too. No, okay, so here's something interesting. So once you've watched a haka a couple of times and performed by different people, you kind of get a sense of like some of the very normal things about it. Okay. And again, haka is from New Zealand specifically. It's the New Zealand Polynesian tribal stuff, chant thing. So one of the things, if you watch Mata in Next Level Chef, it's scary looking. Like it is a positive thing. It is a joyful and positive thing, but it can look scary to an outsider because they do like this crazy, like wide-eyed, and like they somehow get their eyes bulging and they're sticking their tongues out, and it's weird if you're not expecting it, right? Okay, fast forward. I signed up for Les Mills again for like a year in digitally, right? And the way that Les Mills is what I do body pump on, which is one of my favorite workouts that I took a hiatus from for quite some time because I tended to do it in classes live, but I wanted to switch things up. So for the summer, I'm doing body pump as my weight training. And after we got back from Hawaii, my first body pump workout, I put on good old 2000 or 2000. Wow, my brain, y'all. I did a lot of talking today. I also sat for an hour with the new worship team leader at church and met him for the first time and talked in depth about our passion for worship and music. And it was a really great conversation, but that was like a very focused and word heavy conversation. So my brain is like mush. 106. My favorite body pump is body pump 106. And I've watched it a dozen times on Les Mills throughout the years. And I was watching it for the first time and I was observing all of the people that were leading. And specifically in my brain, the shoulder track, which shoulders in body pump is one of my favorites. I love working on my shoulders because they're strong. And if you watch 106 specifically, I can't speak for the other ones, but first of all, when people are getting introduced, several of the men who get introduced do like this crazy face. And that I thought at first was just crazy face, right? And then there's one particular gentleman who is Black who does the shoulder track. And multiple times during this song, he makes the face from as best as I can call it, right? The same face that I've seen multiple groups, multiple people make during their haka chants. And it dawned on me that Les Mills is filmed in and with New Zealanders. It's from New Zealand. So it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. That facial expression is a whole thing. And I was just like, wow, what a cool way to connect all of those dots. So I thought that was cool. Do, 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 do. I'm a first-time PowerSheets user this year. Any tips or suggestions for a first-timer? Yes, 100% yes. It is okay to leave white space on your tending list. Don't feel the need to fill up every single line unless you want to. There are a lot of times, and I was guilty of this too. I often would be like, I have to fill up the whole thing because it's there, because I need to use it to its fullest potential. And some months that was great. And other months that was so overwhelming that in turn I ended up doing nothing. So you have to actually gauge it for yourself. And if you're having a month, like my May had like 3 things on the tending list. 3. And that was okay. I was like, May is my month off. I'm not really working. I'm traveling. I'm doing all of those things. So I don't need to have much on my tending list. So rather than did you just peep my husband sneaking into the chat? My so instead of filling the list and then failing to do any of the things because I was on vacation, I decided that like there's only a couple things going on the list. One of which was pack for Hawaii, which was something I was obviously going to achieve. I didn't need to write it on my tending list, but it was one of the few things I had to do in the month of May. So do not be afraid of white space on your tending list. It's totally fine to have white space on your tending list. So that for sure is one of my number one tips. One of the other tips that I heard from Cultivate What Matters themselves. And it applies specifically more so to this year's because this, well, let me grab it. Hang on. I'm looking right at it. I just can't reach it. Okay. So specifically on this year's tending power sheets, you have this side too, right? You have the checklist side and you have the tending list side, which makes it a lot easier to break down specific projects and things like that. But also, you can use this for to-do list items because the tending list is not supposed to be things that are just generally on your to-do list, like unless you really desperately want them to be. But the way that, and I can't remember the exact verbiage that Cultivate What Matters used, but basically they were saying like the tending list is supposed to be for things you want to be doing, not things that you have to be doing. So focusing on your personal development and your personal goals and things of that nature, as opposed to every week I have to go to the grocery store. Duh, we all have to go to the grocery store, right? Like you don't need to put that on your tending list. So make the tending list full of things that excite you and fire you up and make you want to do them, instead of turning them into a to-do list that you don't want to do because all of a sudden it's an obligation. Now, depending on which tendency you are on Gretchen Rubin's 4 tendencies, and I highly recommend, if you haven't taken that quiz, please do, because it's very, very insightful. My one tip is, when you take the quiz, answer the questions as you are, not as the version of yourself that you wish you were or you're trying to be, right? But it will tell you how you respond to inner and outer expectations. So for me, I'm an obliger, which means I am much more likely to do things and show up for other people. Like, and which is why I did so well showing up for fitness classes, because I felt obligated to the instructor, even though I was not. I do the home tasks and all of those things because I feel obligated to my husband, even though I'm not obligated. You know what I mean? Like it is an internal wiring that causes my brain to be like, you have to show up for other people. I don't know if it's a firstborn thing. Like, I would love to know statistically, what are the demographics of obligers? Are they firstborns? Are they perfectionists? Are they, the people pleasers? Like, what is it? Like, what are the common threads of obligers? One common thread I have found is many Enneagram 9s that I know are also obligers. So it's a very interesting thing, right? So that being said, the reason I bring up obligers is because sometimes when you write even fun things on your tending list, all of a sudden you end up with this mentality of like, well, now I have to do it, so I don't want to. So make sure that what you put on here are things that you truly want to do, because with your tending list, you often only have to show up for yourself. You only show up for yourself, which means that like you don't want to put stuff that like all of the things you have to do for your family and for this and for whatever. But like if you're really focused on your own personal growth, you have to be excited about it. Does that make sense? So those are my tips for the beginner Power Sheets user. I hope you found them helpful. Let's see. Michelle's low. I had a tooth implant in 2006, and in May it failed. Can't have another implant. Waiting for a bridge. I hope it doesn't show. It's a front tooth. Oh no, of course it's a front tooth, right? Couldn't just be one hanging out in the back that nobody sees. I think I've seen Casey Rose pop up on my For You page on social media. Oh, look at that. I got 3 tattoos. Oh my gosh, Andy, that's awesome. Today's low is my clothes washer quit working. I think it's too old to spend much to fix. Oh no. So does that mean you have to get a new washer? That's a bummer. Then my husband showed up. I have no idea if he's still actually here. My youngest son is named Eric. I don't know if I knew that, Linda. Love it, love it, love it. Tales told in the dark. Well, hello. So y'all, let's chit chat about, like, one of the things I was talking about was, I mentioned show up for yourself, right? Well, we're going to have a little chat because I'm here. My mom says that shirt looks good on you. Yes, because it's in my color. Oh, y'all, we got to talk about colors for a second. How many of you have watched or are watching Bridgerton? Because I am. My husband is not home, so I am catching up on shows that he doesn't watch. I'm watching Bridgerton, and I'm not going to spoil any primary plot points for you, but the third season of Bridgerton is a true testament to what dressing somebody in their appropriate colors has the power to do for somebody. So there is a character named Penelope, which is hysterical because my new niece's name is Penelope. And my sister was talking to me the other day and she's like, I didn't realize that Penny's name was actually like up and coming and trending, but because of stinking Bridgerton, more babies are being named Penelope right now. She had no idea. So she accidentally named her daughter a popular name. But Penelope is this voluptuous and curvy girl, and one of the only ones in the show because, of course, they only have to pick one, right? There's a couple. By the third season, we've got a little bit more body diversity happening, which is great, but that's not the point. They have her dressed in these hideous, for her, the colors in and of themselves are not hideous, but on her, with her orange hair, they have her dressed in these warm citrus colors, primarily yellow and occasionally orange. Okay. They're not her colors. They are not at all what Penelope is supposed to be wearing. And it's obvious. And they almost make fun of her for it because like they talk about, she's like, oh, another yellow. So like this goes on for 2 seasons, right? Well, the new season, she decides that she's going to be in charge of what colors her dresses are. And she does a whole wardrobe overhaul. And this girl starts wearing colors in more of her color season. She's cooled down the tones a little bit. And she looks amazing. It is complete, they softened the curls in her hair a little bit, but like all they changed was the color of the dresses that she wore. The fashion in this show is absolutely spectacular because it's like old school, but also a modern twist on old school. So there's a bunch of these dresses that I'm like, man, I would wear that. Look at all that glitter. Look at all that sparkle. Like it's awesome. And so she debuts herself, and all of a sudden, all of season 3. Well, I don't know about all of season 3. I'm not all the way through it yet, but she looks amazing, and all because she switched her colors. All of that to say, first of all, I'm loving Bridgerton, loving it. Second of all, because this is my color, that's why it looks good on me. Because it is, believe it or not, it almost looks warm on camera, but it's not. It is my exact red meant for a summer from my Stitch Fix box. If y'all missed it, go back to my channel and watch the video that got published yesterday. It is a complete Stitch Fix unboxing of my latest Stitch Fix, and every piece in that box was spectacular. It is the first time ever in Stitch Fix history I have purchased the entire box because it was all just so good. And my husband agreed that it was all just so good. So it was fantastic. And this is one of the pieces from it because I asked specifically, and this is why when there's a little comment section in something and you are allowed to express what you want, be specific. And I literally said, I am only willing to purchase clothes in my summer color season palette. If it is not summer, I will not buy it. And the stylists want to make the sale, right? So my stylist did her homework, and lo and behold, everything was in my colors, including this. So bless Kate, the Stitch Fix stylist, because I love her and she just did such a bang up job. So good. It's my job to watch out for suspicious people, and I tend to see messages before I notice who sends them. Oh, were you going to flag him because he said, hey there, hottie? Hysterical. Yes, the name is also important. Shannon, thank you for complimenting on the top. It's been 2 years since my color analysis, and I'm still obsessed with all that. I know, me too. I grow more obsessed. I grow more obsessed with colors the more I properly interact with them. Like without fail. I want everybody I know. I'm dying to get my husband analyzed. I really am. I just need him to be willing to pay the $200 to do it. But I want everybody I know to get their colors done because it is game changing. It is absolutely game changing to know what your best colors are. And you can go forward, and again, it's purchase power, right? Because I was able to say you're able to, as a chronic shopper, as somebody who loves to shop, especially for clothes, do you know the amount of money I have not spent on things that I have gone, ooh, cute, because they're not in my colors? It's just, it helps with purchasing discernment so much, because once you realize what colors look good on you, you are willing to invest where it's important, but you're also willing to just, even if something's cute, you're like, it's not for me. Nope. Nope. And you're willing to pass on it because you only want to wear the colors that look good on you. And it's so empowering. Shannon says, can you change seasons? Technically, no. No, you cannot. Um, so you are born naturally with specific coloring, right? So I'm a summer, I will always be a summer. Now here's where it gets shady, and I don't know enough, and I don't know if I'm a particular oddball, because even within the summer color season, there are different like subtypes. And I didn't know this at first. My original color analysis did not tell me that I'm a specific subtype. And so I started following other House of Color reps on Instagram because I find their content so fascinating. And I messaged one day who was talking about being a summer, and I sent her a picture of my House of Color analysis with my best colors. And I was like, does this tell me what my best, like my sub season is? And she goes, well, yes, it does. You are a dark brown summer specifically. And I was like, oh, isn't that interesting? Now, here's where it gets weird for me. I don't know how much crossover can or cannot happen. I don't know for what percentage of people it happens. I don't know if I'm just an optimist and so I think it's happening, but it's really not. But here's what I think. There was a recent photo. I also posted this photo in the video that I posted yesterday. Um, so I was in Hawaii. I put on this yellow tank top that I borrowed from my sister. And I posted a picture of it on Instagram. And everybody was like, that is your color. That is, wow, you look fantastic in yellow. Like all sorts of different people, like people whose opinions I really truly value were like, girl, that is your color. Here's the thing, it's not my color. According to the House of Color fan and the summer color palette, there is that much yellow, and it's like icy yellow. That is the summer yellows, right? So why the heck does that yellow look good on me? Why? I don't know. Here's what I do know. A nice olive green also looks good on me. Like slightly cooler toned olive, but like olive green in and of itself is not a summer color, but it's an autumn color. And so I looked up the autumn color palette and discovered that the yellow of that tank top is also closely identified with the yellow in the autumn color palette. So then the question becomes, am I a summer because I am a dark brown summer? If I did a digital analysis, because now people are like asking ChatGPT to color type them. Don't do it. It's going to be wrong. Probably they color typed me, surprise, surprise, as an autumn based on the hex codes and whatever, which is exactly what a blog post I found said. If you use a digital like ChatGPT to get a analysis, a dark summer will often get mistyped as an autumn. And the difference is they're cool toned. So I'm a summer, I'm cool toned. But I think for me and my coloring specifically, there are a few colors from the autumn palette specifically that I can choose from. And that yellow happens to be one of them. So I don't think so. It's not that I'm changing seasons. It's not like one day I'm going to wake up and I'll be in autumn, but I can dabble in specific autumn colors, not the whole palette, but specific autumn colors. I have the color to dabble in. I don't know if that's normal. I don't know, but I know that there are a couple colors that work for me. That's all I know. So it's not changing them, it's borrowing from them. And I also, and see, I'm a weird swing because there are also a handful of winter colors that don't look bad on me either. So I don't know. I'm a weird color swinging type. I don't know. Then I saw who it was and I was like, okay, he's good. I was told I was a winter over 30 years ago. Winter, oh, the stunningness of a winter. If you're a winter, own it. Own it. Oh my gosh. Your season stays the same your entire life, but your subseason and wow colors can change. So like when you go gray, you might be able to pull off lighter colors. Interesting. Yeah. There's this whole group of people on ID who are diving into HSC mistyping and other systems to get a lot more scientific. It's fascinating. I'm sure it's fascinating. And I would love to do the deep dive, but also I'm satisfied with just knowing that I'm a summer and working with that. It has not failed me yet. So I'm good with it. Maybe I should have it done again. I think that if you are unsure, get it done. If you have the disposable income, because it is not cheap to get your color analysis done, but it is so worth it. It is so worth it. And I think men should do it too. I think men should do it too, because men also need to know what colors look best on them so they look their best, right? Like, absolutely, 100%. I ordered a purple scarf today before the new hat I done. Does that count? I mean, I love purple. I love purple. You wear that purple scarf, Andy. There's another system I want to get an analysis and see what season I am. It's a 12 or 16 season system. Well, I mean, that's kind of like the subtypes, because I think there's like four or five subtypes within each season, which mathematically would be 16. I've done the chat GPT thing. Yeah. What did it test you as? I suspect I'm a bright spring, neutral to warm, medium value with medium to high contrast and higher chroma. Lori, hi. Just looked at Facebook to see if you're going to be live soon. I'm glad you thought to check. I'm so glad that y'all know how to find me. It makes me happy to be like, oh wait, I should look at this. The nice thing about some of the other systems is they get a bit more specific, and they address a few confusing things about HOC. Look, here's the thing, Lisa. If you're willing to do the preliminary research and send me the resources, I'm happy to look at the resources and figure some of those things out, because I know that you could like deep dive into that stuff. I'd be very interested to know. Like I just love it. The color thing is just so it's just so good. Color can make or break, and the more I'm embracing the colors that I like one thing my husband did say, he goes, you used to wear a lot more brighter colors. I wish you would wear more bright colors. And there's a reason. Like, most of my closet is the more muted summer tones. I kind of knew before I even knew I was a summer what looked good on me, right? But now that I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that I am a summer, I can use that to get things like this, and all of a sudden, bam, bright colors again, baby. Bright colors, but in the right way. That are really diving into it. Yes, please send me the accounts. I'd be very, very fascinated to know. All right, my friends. So let's chit chat a little bit about summertime. Summer officially starts. I know you all are melting now. I know you all are melting now. Believe it or not, I'm not melting today. I'm melting in this room right now because I don't have the fan going, but it's only 72 degrees outside today. Like we did pretty good in Minnesota today. But don't worry, it'll end up being 90 randomly very, very soon. Summer starts in 2 days. It's on the 21st, right? That's when summer starts. So I thought it would be fun to do like my own little challenge. But here's the thing. Summer starts tomorrow. Oh, shoot. When's the solstice? Is the solstice the 21st or the longest day tomorrow? Because I was going to vlog like the longest day of the year. Am I going to have to vlog it tomorrow? Well, that actually works out better for me based on what I'm doing tomorrow. So there's that. Tomorrow at 4:50. All right. So tomorrow's the longest day of the year. Thank you for telling me that, or I would have been vlogging on the wrong day. Guess this camera's coming downstairs with me when I'm done here. Okay, good to know. Anyway, I was like, I'm home. We're finally done with all of the distractions of the first quarter of the year. We're finally done with planning this trip, packing for this trip, shopping for this trip, and taking this trip. So now, June, I feel like I can start on my 2024. These goals that I have taped to my desk right here, like I can finally get started on them, y'all. Gosh, and it's June. So I'm sitting, oh, leap year. Right. I forgot it was a leap year. Yes. So I was like, okay, I want to challenge myself in some way, but also like not too much because I'm loving the leaning into the feminine energy and leaning into the softer life. So like how can I marry those two ideas? How can I marry like actually putting forth effort and kind of trying to challenge myself and cross the line, but also lean into rest and lean into self-care and lean into like tie it all up in a pretty little bow. So instead of like, you know how I had fallen into fitness, which was specifically fitness oriented, this summer, my friends, we are doing show up for yourself summer because it's the best thing I could come up with. I was thinking like soft summer or something like that. And I was like, no, that doesn't feel quite right because there still needs to be a challenge. So, show up for yourself summer is what we are doing. We, as a community, if you want to participate like actively in the group, the actual challenge where all the updates are going to be is taking place in my membership community, the Diva District, which is $10 a month, with a Discord channel and a fun and loving supporting group of people. The link to join that is in the description box, and that's where we will all be hashing things out. But I want to tell you a little bit about what my plans are and my hopes. And I don't actually have everything like hashed out. Although tomorrow, now that I know summer starts tomorrow, I best get on that because tomorrow's day one, y'all. But some of the things that, so if you want to just do show up for yourself summer on your own, feel free, take the idea, run with it. But how am I going to do show up for myself summer? I have like a cardio, like a fitness goal that I have that I had written down on a pad of paper, and I don't know where that pad of paper is. And the challenge is as follows: 45 minutes a day of low impact cardio. It doesn't have to be 45 minutes at once. It could be two 20-minute walks. It could be 4.5 10-minute walks. It can be 45 minutes on the elliptical machine, or it can be a real, like once or twice, it can be a really diehard day of like cleaning, you know, the cleaning that like makes you sweaty and feel like you worked out. It can be that too, but rarely. I just got to get moving, right? Then we are going to work out with strength training 3 times a week. Body pump specifically. I'm doing body pump 3 times a week. Now, Little Miss Perfectionist already tried to creep in because I'm already checking off days of doing 45 minutes of cardio. And yesterday, I'm downstairs. I dragged myself downstairs and I'm like, I don't want to do strength training because I didn't want to strength train today because I had to stay cute because I had to go get coffee with somebody and then do this and healthy meeting and all that. So I'm like, I didn't want to get gross this morning. So I'm like, I have to work. This was yesterday. I have to do body pump today. But I really don't want to do body pump and 45 minutes of low impact cardio. What was I thinking? That's like almost 2 hours of working out. And then the voice of reason came in and told the voice of perfectionism to shove it because I realized that body pump is also a cardiovascular workout. Duh. So I don't have to do 45 minutes of cardio on top of my 55 minutes of strength training that doubles as cardio if I don't want to. So this is just a reminder that like you don't have to kill yourself. I don't have to kill myself. You guys can set whatever fitness goals you want. I don't care. But for me, for this like trying to really go gung ho, I still have to remember that, like, you don't have to kill yourself, Brianna. Like, make it challenging, but also don't kill yourself. Okay, cool. And then stretching every single day. And I feel like there was one more element to it, which I now cannot remember. And I really don't remember where I put that pad of paper. Cool. So we're going to do strength training, stretching, and low impact cardio / movement all summer long. All summer long. And we're going to see how it goes. We're going to see how it goes. And we're going to, the intensity levels change based on where I am in my cycle. And Flo's visit just ended. So like right now I'm feeling pumped. I'm feeling fired up. I'm ready to go, you know? But like next month, like later in my cycle, there will be more walking and leisure and just getting the movement versus like really going hardcore. So there's that. We're focusing on nutrition, eating more plants, y'all. I get my first CSA box this week and I am so excited. I also got a new food processor. I am such a little homemaking nerd. I got like talk about adulting. My shiny new thing that I'm so excited about is a brand spanking new food processor. I got like the Cuisinart 14 cup Mac Daddy, like all the rave reviews food processor. Because I realized that food processors can do more than just like pulse, 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 which is very helpful, by the way. I used it to make dill pickle chicken salad a week or so ago, and it worked like a charm. It was so perfect. It chopped up my meat really, really nice. It chopped up my pickles really, really nice. But when you get a nice food processor, you also get a shredding attachment and you also get a slicing attachment. And it dawned on me that with this CSA box that I'm going to be getting every week for the next like 13 weeks, 18 weeks, it might be 18 weeks. Like we got a lot of fresh produce coming our way. And a lot of it ends up being cabbages and kale and greens, right? And my genius brain went, why spend all the money on the salad kits that are pre-done? I love a good salad kit. But one of the reasons I love the salad kits is because of the chunkiness, for lack of a better term, the hardiness, if you will, of the salad. Like and one of the things I wish that they had easier access to was give me the salad kit, like give me the salad kit base without any of the accessories. I would buy the heck out of bags of shredded kale, broccoli, cabbage, radish, whatever the heck else they put in the salad kits to make them like this awesome, hearty thing, as opposed to just lettuces, right? But that's not offered anywhere. There's one by some brand that I can't remember that's only at the fancy grocery store, and it's like $5 a container. So, no. But my point is, with this food processor, I can shred my own Brussels sprouts and make Brussels sprout salad. I can chop up all the fresh vegetables. I can, put the kale in there and go click, click, click and pulse, pulse, pulse and pulverize that and make my own salad kits. All of this to say, the food processor is going to open a whole new realm of being able to eat fresh foods. That is going to be one of my focuses for the summer because summer is the best time to get fresh foods. So we're focusing on hydration, like a lot of hydration. We're focusing on I'm taking one from Lissa's playbook and like let's nutrition up, nourish up the desserts a little bit on the day to day. So then the fancier, the bougier, the more decadent desserts feel that much more decadent. What else? What else? Oh, but then there's also like the whole self-care aspect. Like I want to have self-care days and I want to make sure I'm doing things like summer things, like just getting sunlight. Sunlight first thing in the morning, sitting outside, getting in nature, reading a good book more often than I'm scrolling on my phone. Put the stinking phone away. And I know I say it all the time, but like I finally had it with my phone. I'm like, you're not cool anymore. I got on Facebook the other day, and is anybody else just seeing more like cartoon and comics and like different like accounts that are trying to like post things about movies they know that you're interested in? So I get like a bunch of random Harry Potter posts, but like not from any source that's like actually Harry Potter. And so I'm scrolling Facebook. I'm like, why am I even looking at this? There's nothing of value on here anymore. Like Linda's like, yes, yeah. What? Where did that come from? Why am I getting all of these stupid posts instead of actual posts from people I follow? There's no point in being on Facebook anymore. And Instagram feels like it's not too far behind. It's making me crazy. It's making me crazy. So, what if instead I just, left the phone in my bedroom and read a book in the morning? Imagine that. I got a whole long to be read list, a long, long, long list. Why don't I just leave the phone and come upstairs and do work? Why don't I practice being more mindful and leave the phone away from the table when I'm eating? So, like, the realm of possibility for show up for yourself summer, the whole point of show up for yourself summer is you can set whatever goals you need to set. Soft goals, challenging goals. You can be like me and have some combination of the two. But the ultimate point is once you set them, you have to show up for yourself. Because ultimately, what we are after with a lot of things that we do is self confidence, right? We want to build our self confidence. And the only way to build our self confidence is to keep the promises we make to ourselves over and over and over again. It's saying if you're going to get up with your alarm, that you actually get up with your alarm. It's when you tell yourself, I need to scroll my phone less, and then you actually decide to leave your phone in the different room while you go about your day. It's showing up for yourself. And not only when you show up for yourself, do you accomplish the things that you set out to do during the show up for yourself challenge, but you also show up for yourself, which boosts your self confidence and your self trust and all of those really awesome things. So it's a win-win all around. It's a win-win all around. I am super stoked about it. So if you want to like get in the weeds and declare your goals to the group and whatever, like I said, it's going to be taking place in the Diva district, which is my membership community, and the link to join that is in the description box below. If you want to just kind of do something like that on your own, more power to you. I think it's a great idea whether you decide to join us or not. It'll be fun, and we'll be making the most out of summer, which evidently starts tomorrow. Who knew? I need to catch up on comments, but with 10 minutes left, do you guys have any questions for me? Want to do a little ask me anything session? What have you got for me? What would you like me to talk about, answer, discuss, whatever in the last couple of minutes here? Let's see. Summer starts tomorrow. I can't safely do much with the setting workout goals right now, but I'm looking forward to being able to do it again. Hopefully, I'll get a new job soon and can rejoin the gym and get back to it. Yeah, and obviously, one of the things that you have to what do we say? Don't be a no nuance Nelly. You have to make things work for you, right? Does onion rings count as a vegetable? Yes and no. Technically, it's a vegetable. But it's a deep fried vegetable. So maybe don't make it the only vegetable you eat. Did I say hi to you, Sandy? Hi, Sandy. Oh, my dog is barking again. Awesome. If you need to, lettuce, purple cabbage, carrots, kale, spinach, etc. can all be thrown into a freezer bag and frozen for Fab Four smoothies. Ooh, that's good to know. Okay. Probably wouldn't do Brussels sprouts and broccoli. No. I have never once put Brussels sprouts or broccoli in a Fab Four smoothie. That's another thing I want to start doing is Fab Four smoothies. Right now, I have a breakfast hyperfixation, and no, it's not Premier Protein pancakes. My current breakfast hyperfixation is feta, egg, avocado toast. I am obsessed. So you take your pan and you spray it. I'll vlog it tomorrow, unless tomorrow I actually feel inspired to have a Fab Four smoothie. That would be nice. Because I really want one, but also not enough to not have my other breakfast. But you melt feta cheese in a pan and then you crack the 2 eggs on top of the melted feta cheese and you let that just cook because I want the yolks runny. So the whites have to cook, the cheese has to cook, but the yolks need to be runny. And then you prepare your bread of choice. I personally am loving light English muffins, 8 grams of fiber. Put the mashed avocado, chives, oregano, garlic, dill, and dill pickle seasoning in the avocado. Sprinkle some extra on top of the eggs. You get runny feta cheese eggs on the so good. It's so good. So right now, that's my current food hyperfixation. So once I'm over that, I'll be doing Fab Four smoothies for the summer. Between the random suggested posts and the unhinged people in my local mom group, it's driving me crazy. I know. The internet is getting out of control. I just got done doing my strength training exercises while listening to you right now. Linda, that is the best use of this time. If I was just a spectator and not the one actually having to talk for an hour, I would be doing the exact same thing. And you better believe if the angle was right, if I could put my computer here and have the lighting be right, I would be doing my under the desk elliptical while I do this. But alas, I can't. She's still barking. What is she barking at? Air frying food in place of a standard oven, I do all of the things. I do all the things. I love air frying food. One of my favorite ways to cook vegetables lately, especially steamed vegetables. So you buy for really inexpensive, go buy frozen vegetables, right? And what you do, like this worked really well with the Good and Gather Brussels sprouts and the Good and Gather roasted sweet potato. So you microwave both of them for about 3 minutes. Like the total is usually 5.5 to 6 minutes. Microwave them so they're about halfway there. This will mostly get the sweet potatoes cooked, but not the Brussels sprouts. Some of them will still be cold, but they'll be starting to cook through. Then you take out the whole Brussels sprouts that are now half cooked and you cut them in half. Throw the sweet potatoes and the Brussels sprouts in the air fryer and air fry them to your crispiness content. For some people, that's less. For me, I love my vegetables to be crispy, crispy. And it works so well with them partially cooked in the microwave. It just allows them to like crisp on the outside and get, oh, it's so good. Try it. So I love cooking a lot of things in the air fryer. I also love throwing things in the oven, making it real easy by just throwing things on a pan and throwing them in the oven. Any way that I can get things cooked in the way that I desire to eat them, I will do it. I'm doing something where I can. I just need to be careful with fitness with the heat. For sure, for sure. Grace, hi. Yes. I forgot to say something at the healthy meeting today. I realized it about 2 hours after the meeting. I was like, I did not tell people I was going live tonight. I sure didn't. My bad. So kudos to all of you that found me. There are a ton of great veggies that work in smoothies. It's a great way to deal with it if you get more produce than you can before. Yeah, remind me of that when I start complaining I have too much produce. Just remind me to throw it all in a blender because I will. I just forget, Zucchini, summer squash, cauliflower. I do use cauliflower rice in my smoothies regularly. Beets, I don't know that I've ever had a beet, or if I have, I don't remember liking it. One of the two. Pumpkin is good in smoothies too, 100%. Yes. Cucumber, mint, you can even throw in strawberry and carrot tops. Really? I've never entertained the idea of eating the leaves on the strawberries. I always cut them off and throw them away. Air fried Brussels sprouts tossed in honey and maple syrup, delicious. I love air fried Brussels sprouts. Crispy Brussels sprouts, one of my favorite things. You guys remember when we went out with our small group to my favorite, one of my favorite, I don't even know if it's a Mexican restaurant. It's where my favorite crispy Brussels sprout dish is. All I ate that night was crispy Brussels sprouts. It's all I wanted. One order of crispy Brussels sprouts, and I was the happiest I could have been. I love crispy Brussels sprouts. 42 days until you retire. Lori, you are so close. That is so exciting. I wouldn't eat them on your own, but they can be thrown into a smoothie. It'll be the summer of experimenting with my produce because one of the goals is to eat more plants. And I don't just mean fruits or vegetables, but up that fiber intake. Y'all, my friends, my loves. If you are looking to let go of tracking, if you have let go of tracking, if you're decided you never want to track again, or if you're afraid to completely let go of tracking and you want to track one thing, track how much fiber you're eating. 2024 is the year of the fiber. And I want to make sure, y'all, did you know that there are people in their 20s and 30s now getting colorectal cancer? Yeah, cancer that is typically found in the old generations is being found in 20 and 30-year-olds. And one of the best things we can do to help prevent that is make sure we are getting adequate amounts of fiber. Because the reality is, we don't realize that we're not eating enough fiber. There are days where I'll be eating some food and then I'll sit there and I'll go, what exactly did I eat that has fiber in it today? And I might sit there and do like the mental tally and be like, oh, so I've eaten 5 grams of fiber today. Cool. And by the way, you need at least 25, at least 25. So you need to make sure that you're eating fiber. And so don't forget that fruits and vegetables aren't the only plants. Beans are plants, nuts are plants, legumes are plants, and herbs are plants as well. So you better believe that when I'm counting my plants in the morning, I'm like, here's my English muffin, and here's my avocado, and there's the 1 spice, 2 spice, 3 spice. All of them are plants. They're all plants. The only thing that's not plants is the egg and the cheese. And that counts, y'all. That counts. Do the spices give you like adequate amounts of fiber? No. But you're eating things that have grown. And that is one of the things that I am focused on for this summer because it just sounds so energizing in terms of what you put in your body. It does. And my body needs some of that right now. I can feel that my body's like, "Hey, maybe a little bit more fresh, please. Thank you." That's how I'm feeling about it. Party of yours then. Yes, we're gonna go. I'll go have a party at Lori's. I'm finally going good on intuitive eating, Lori. That is so exciting. That's so exciting. I've thrown frozen edamame into some. Ooh, interesting, interesting. Ordered some acacia fiber. Yes. No lunch break on Saturday, and I work 9 to 3, so I'm gonna make a protein shake and add fiber powder. Love that. Do a bag of mixed vegetables for a snack. Also a great choice. 100%. So is fiber more important than protein? Fiber is on par with protein. They have two very fundamentally different purposes, but they are both very, very important. They're very important. And now, if you're smart, if you pay attention, you can get some protein from your fiber sources. I'm looking at beans. I'm looking at my English muffins, my Thomas's Light English muffins, y'all. 8 grams of fiber, 5 grams of protein in the English muffin. You get yourself some hearty bread. The bread that I got at Costco last was like the S. Rosen's. It's in a green container, multi-grain bread or something like that. It has 7 grams of protein and 4 or 5 grams of fiber per slice. Gone are the days where we are concerned with how many calories our slice of bread has in it, and we are concerned with what the rest of the nutrition label says about our bread. Because you can get so much out of your piece of bread if you are willing to let go of the calories, because you're not going to find hearty bread at 30 calories a slice. You might be able to find bread at 30 calories a slice, but the nutrition is not going to be there. The nourishment is not going to be there. You want the ones that are sitting pretty at like between 90 and 130 calories a slice, because all that goodness, all that protein, all that fiber is in those breads. And so when you make a sandwich, y'all, just picture it with me for just a second. Let's say my bread has 4 grams of fiber and 7 grams of protein per slice. 2 slices of bread, cheese, turkey, slap it together. 14 grams of protein and 8 grams of fiber in the bread. And then you throw the meat and the cheese on top, and you're looking at a sandwich that's got like 30 plus grams of protein in it. Amazing lunch. Amazing. So definitely just keep an eye on that. We're focusing on nourishment this summer, nourishing our bodies well. Yes? Yes. Looking to add nutrition to my desserts, but looking for desserts with a little bit of fiber or protein, at least made with real fruit. Yeah, 100%. Yes. My bread has good ingredients, 81 calories, 1 fiber, 3 protein. Yeah, you want to just make sure that your bread is giving you something. That's what you really need, is what your bread to give you something. So with that, my friends, I leave you. Oh, I should probably tell you like what the plan is going forward. I cannot decide, at least for the summer, that I'm going to necessarily go back to every single week live streams. So next week for sure, I'm going to be live streaming at the wait. Let me look to before I lie to you. Hang on. Opening my Google Calendar. Yes. Next week for sure I will be live streaming. But then I want to like take polls and like I'll put something up in the Facebook group or in multiple places or whatever. Like afternoon timings versus evening timings, and like every other week or like twice a month or something like that. At least for the summer, I want to keep my evenings as free as possible because I freaking love being outside when the sun is out. So we'll figure that out as we go. But at least this week and next week for sure, live stream is on at normal time. So I will see you all next week. Thank you so much for being here and spending the hour with me. I have missed you all so much, and I love talking to you. So until next week, my friends, take care.
Be well, and I'll talk to you later.
Bye.